All right, it is a little early here, not so much there. We're podcasting today with not one, not two, but three heavy hitters joining us from the southwest of France. The first, born in France, raised in Mexico, exploded onto the championship tour this season, quarterfinal finishes in Portugal and at Jeffreys Bay, and frankly, just impressive all year long is the 2025 Men's CT Rookie of the Year, Marco Mignot. Next up, one of the most dynamic surfers on the planet. He is dangerous in everything from 2 feet to 20 feet and was on a heater at this year's WSL Finals, posting impressive wins over Idlo Ferreira and Jordy Smith en route to finishing world runner-up for 2025. It is Griffin Colapinto. And rounding things out, Le Patron, the boss, former longtime CT icon with wins at Pipeline, 2 in fact, in Tahiti and at home in France. Since retiring from full-time competition, he's coached surfers to their own CT wins, Olympic gold medals, and more. He currently has a documentary out, Du Mur, that I'm very much looking forward to seeing. It is Jeremy Flores. They're talking to us live from Hossegor in the midst of Quiksilver Festival. Boys, they have you on the clock today. I heard you guys are out on the twin fins this morning, and now you're doing the podcast. Jeremy, I said you're the boss man, but they got you working. What's going on?
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
That's what I say on my side. It's 20 years, man. We've been doing this too long.
Oh man, I've been working like a slave lately.
So, no, Jeremy, I want to start with you, man, because the Quiksilver Fest it's largely your baby, like from a surfing side of things. You and of course Mickey Pecan and the crew there. For the listeners of the podcast, can you explain to us just what Quiksilver Fest is? You guys are on twin fins this morning. How does the competition work?
Yeah, so basically we're trying to do this new format and make like a fun event with like no rules is the rule kind of thing. And you know, for the economy, the local economy with the shops and there's like a lot of activities with skating, we have surfing obviously, but then there's a bunch of DJ concert. There's so much going on, and I think the whole town, the whole village really needed it because there used to be obviously like historical event here, city events, and you know the dream days back in the day with like all the big wins happening here in Hossegor. So then that disappeared for a couple of years, and I think the whole local community really felt it. So we had the idea with Quiksilver and the whole crew, like let's make it happen. Let's do something cool. Let's make a fun event. Let's invite a bunch of legends from like different areas too. You know, you can have like pro surfers, but you can have free surfers, and you can have all kind of mix like twin fins and stuff. And that's the fun part. You know, there's no pressure, but at the same time, obviously there's a winner. And every day we do themes, like a format. So you can have a twin fin. You can have one day is going to be the biggest turn, or this year we're not lucky, we didn't get any barreling wave, but otherwise it's the best barrel. And then you add the points, and at the end you have a ranking, and then you have a winner, and we have a bunch of fun stuff. But what's funny too is like you see everyone like having a really good time because everyone enjoys France. Everyone comes here, and good food, the whole vibe and the waves and everything. So it's just good to see old friends and to see new friends and to have this mix of generations. That's the coolest part about the Quiksilver Festival.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's a tour favorite. It was a tour favorite, I think, both for competitors and even for us lucky enough to travel there to work. And, this year we're doing these anonymous CT surfer surveys. And one of the questions we had is like any venue in the world that you could add that's not currently on tour, where to be. And Hossegor finished way up at the top. Griffin, you were on tour back when it was a championship tour stop the last time, 2019, the big year that Jeremy won, actually. So you've seen it from both sides. You've got to compete there when it was a championship tour event, and now you're here at the Quiksilver Fest. Obviously, this year was really intense. It was up and down for you, a little bit down and then super duper up, but high pressure kind of all the way through the WSL finals. how does it feel to be back in the southwest of France? It's in autumn, sort of the best time of year. You're competing, but to Jeremy's point, it's a little more relaxed. Like, what's your kind of take on this event?
Yeah, it's so relaxed and completely different from the CT. Obviously, like the times I surfed, I think I've surfed 3 heats, but like the times I surfed my heats, I'm literally showing up like 1 minute before it starts. Where like a CT, you're there like 3 hours before your heat, you know? So it's just like, oh, my heat's in 20 minutes. I'm at the cafe down the street. Let's go surf. Like, you know, so like that part of it's so fun. And yeah, just with all the mix of guys, you know, there's like all different types of surfers, not just competitive surfers. Like someone like Kai Lenny, for example, like you're in the same contest as him and he doesn't really compete, but I don't know, it's cool to see that and feel that energy. And like, it's just about having fun and making good memories with everyone.
Jeremy and I can attest that even when it was a championship tour event, surfers would turn up 1 minute before their heat and sometimes several minutes after their heat started. It didn't seem to slow people down back in the day.
Wario style.
yeah, it was an experience. Marco, first off, man, congratulations. What an insane year. Like I think for Core Lords, you were definitely on our radar before this rookie season, but I think the whole world saw just all your talent all season long. It was just insane. Can you just give us a little bit of background on how 2025 on the CT went for you, and mostly transitioning to now that it's over, you've qualified for 26. It's the big 50th anniversary of the World Tour next year in 2026, and you're at home in France for the Quiksilver Fest. Like how's the year been for you, and how does it feel to kind of get to decompress at the moment?
I mean, this year has been amazing. First in the beginning, I wanted to have a full year on tour, get the most experience as possible, and just progress a lot. You know, I think when you're surfing good waves all year long and surfing with good surfers, well, you're always pushing yourself, and I was kind of relaxed. If the rookie of the year would have happened, I would have been. No, that was the goal. But if it didn't happen, I would have been okay. You know, I just wanted to have a full year, full experience, progress, and I feel that I progressed a lot on tour this year. But it's been good, you know. The festival has been so fun. We've been able to party, surf, have good food, you know, and there's a really good vibe in the water. You know, you're surfing with all your friends, and it's been so nice to decompress and just have fun. Yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. I was telling Matthias when we got this lined up, I'm like, hey, I need to do like full episodes with each of these guys. And we will line those up because I think where you guys are at in terms of your career is so interesting. And I don't want to go too deep in today's episode, but I did want to talk about one kind of important topic, I think, as it relates to the three of you. And that is just expectations, you know, expectations that you put on yourself, expectations that maybe your community puts behind you. And I'll probably go in reverse order a little bit. Marco, I was saying, outside probably just lineup listeners, and certainly everybody in Europe, there weren't a ton of people that were aware of your game, before the championship tour. And so, in a way, we've seen surfers come in with not a ton of hype, like global hype or pressure or expectations, and they've really thrived under that. I'm not sure if you've given that too much thought from maybe how successful you were this season, but sometimes flying under the radar is a huge advantage, and I wanted to get your take on that.
I've been quite doubted a lot in my career. I've been sometimes laughed at and stuff, but I've always I had an amazing team behind me, and I had great support from all the people that have been there since day one, and they always believed in me and stuff. So what mattered, it was definitely having the right people around me, and having what's most important is at the end of the day is my own opinion and stuff, and everybody's free to have opinions and stuff and think whatever they want to think. But yeah, it's been good to not have the pressure of being like, oh, this he's the not to have that pressure, just do my thing and that's it. It's been good.
Yeah. Griff, I mentioned you finished world runner-up this year. It was such an awesome performance. And just before the podcast, I was kind of going back through the records. I'm like, when was the last Californian male that finished this well on the world tour? And fortunately, I got a lot of records because I had to go back to 1996. It was Shane Beshin finished world runner-up then. And California is such a kind of lightning rod for the surfing world, right? There's a huge industry there. There's a ton of attention. It's got Tom Curran. It's got these amazing world champions. One of your predecessors on tour, Kolohe Andino, there was a ton of attention on him. You probably benefited from his slipstream a little bit just in terms of the spotlight. But once you were on tour, it quickly flipped to you, and it feels like you are unquestionably the mainland US's world title contender and have been for a few years. Can you talk to us about, the expectations that you put on yourself, these years compared to maybe your rookie season, and if that's changed at all?
Oh, for sure. When I first came on, I was definitely felt pretty underground and felt like no pressure, just free. Like there was no expectation for me really. And but as the years have gone on and getting a few results and a couple of wins under my belt, like going into this year, definitely felt the most expectation I've ever felt. And yeah, it was pretty wild to, just start the year so bad and to be like feeling that, and just like you just feel like people are looking at you like, oh, what, this guy must be like on a darkie or having a bad one or in a bad headspace or something. It's just like you just feel that energy, like people asking you like, hey, how are you? And you'll be like, I'm good. And they'll be like, no, but how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. And
stop asking. Yeah, right?
So it's just like so weird to feel that. But it's just like Marco was saying, you just like trust in yourself and your own opinion about yourself and your belief, and you just stay true to that. And eventually over a full year, if you can stay on that, it eventually comes, whatever needs to rise to the surface will. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jeremy, you were probably one of a handful of surfers who was tagged verbatim with "This is the next Kelly Slater" on the come up, and it was well earned in a lot of ways. But I want to get your take on that, because I'd imagine that having someone say that about you is awesome exactly one time maximum, and then after that, it's like, I'm my own person. Like I don't need that. And you were on tour for so long, and I think that you represented not just France, but Europe so well, and just continued to impress everybody. Like, and I would argue too that like got more potent and more impressive as the years went on, especially in like heavy waves. Can you talk to us just about, I don't know, maybe that label early on of being the next Kelly Slater? Did you even think about that when you qualified? Because you qualified so young as well.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I had no pressure with that. I kind of liked that, in a way. I didn't really care. I was on a mission, and I had this selfish side that I really wanted to be successful no matter what. Coming from Meridian Island, like when I was younger, it's like pretty much, it was like mission impossible to be a pro surfer, So like to actually have this dream, I had this like crazy dream, and I just went all in, I was like, I was ready for anything. Like I never really went to school. I just kind of traveling around the world, trying to, everything that I was doing, I was sacrificing. I wasn't doing a lot of fun stuff that usual kids were doing too. And that's why, I qualified. I didn't expect to qualify at 17. That wasn't the plan. It's just my first year, second year. I did the first year on the QS, and I had a shocker, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not that good. And then the year after, I won the QS, and I qualified, and I was like, wow. I was like, okay, I'm on tour with all my idols. I have guys like Aki, I have guys like Andy, like Bruce, etc. It's like wow. But the thing is, I think what was my strength is I never backed down. I was really impressed. I was like, wow, I was a big fan of these guys. but I was like, I
Right.
was seriously being like a dog, you know, like I was like, just like, I wasn't scared, you know, as much as I was really impressed. I was like, okay, if I put my guard down, these guys are gonna eat me alive, you know. So that was kind of like my attitude going in super young and stuff. I always felt like I had to do more than everyone else. I was skinny, so everyone was saying, okay, like he's got no power, like this guy's gonna get flogged his first year on tour. And I was like, okay, I'll prove them wrong. And then they're saying that, oh, Jeremy doesn't have a good game in the barrels too. I was like, okay, I'll prove them wrong. And all that was like really, really, that it was like driving me, you know, to really always prove them wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think that was my main strength. And I felt like I needed that. And sometimes I was putting myself in situation to feel like the pain kind of thing, you know, like you start enjoying the pain kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like someone like, I don't know, like talking shit about you or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, I like that. I love that. Okay, keep talking shit. I love that. You know what I mean? So it was, I don't know, it was kind of strange in a way, but yeah, I needed that passion, you know, to keep going, and that's why I stayed 15 years on tour, and I had lots of ups and downs, like so much ups and downs. Like I would win one event or whatever, and then I'd go like first round, like 3 events in a row. So I was kind of I had a hard time finding the right balance, and then I started getting into the crazy life too. But at first I was like really, really driven, you know.
The surfing industrial complex, it's so obsessed with youth, and all 3 of you qualified for the CT super young. And like, Jeremy, you're talking about passion, but there's also quite a lot of humility, like even from that time of saying, okay, like these are the things in my surfing I want to work on. And you see that across all the success stories on the championship tour. Like, they might get hyped up as the very best surfer on the planet, and this rookie is going to win the world title like year one. But the ones that come in and go like, I need to work on this, I need to work on that, are the ones that do end up becoming world champions. And we've seen it, you know, like Mick Fanning and Adriano and surfers who, if you're just a casual viewer and you saw the marketing around them when they were rookies, you're like, yeah, this person must be the best surfer in the world. But they're coming on tour and acknowledging like, I need to work on my backhand tube riding, or I need to work on my rail game, or whatever it is. You know, Griff, in your experience being on the CT from your rookie season to now, what are some of the key parts of your surfing that you worked on and that you're happy with the results?
I've probably, like, my rail game was definitely a big one, and also barrel riding is a big one. Like, those 2 things have been like the things I've tried to work on the most, and my backside too. Those 3 have been the ones that I've been working on the most. And it's still like, there's still little things evolving, like still intricacies about it that I still feel like I can be better at. And so, it's pretty fun to see that progress. And barrel riding especially, like that one's like, seems like the funnest one to get better at, because it's such an amazing feeling. But, you know, to see it like come through, like it comes through in the events. Like you see the guys that are the best barrel riders, like are always in the top, you know, semis or finals at the end of those events. So I think that's a really good tell.
Yeah, and I mean, a sample set of 1, but watching your backhand on finals day at Cloudbreak across both the men and the women, like obviously these are the 5 best men, the 5 best women from the entire CT season. This is the cream of the crop. And Griffin, your backhand rhythm out there, it just had extra bite, like extra timing, and it really stood out amongst that field. And so that was like super duper impressive. Marco, I remember talking to John Florence's coach, Ross Williams, like years ago, and he said something that I thought was really interesting. interesting about when John qualified. He said, when John qualified, he had like two big weapons or two big arrows in his quiver. He's like, he was obviously a great tube rider. And he also had like a pretty good air game on lock for the time. He said, but like he would admit that his style and his combos and his rail game wasn't where it needed to be. But he said, what he did was he used those two arrows in his quiver to like create space and time to develop that once he was on tour. And, you compare his first CT win at Rio, he beat Parco, I think it was 2012, doing just big backhand rotations out at Postino. Flash forward a few years later to the kind of rail surfing he was doing out at Margaret River. And Ross is like, that surfing didn't exist for him when he started. I'm curious, if you had to kind of identify like one or two mega strengths, like your arrows in the quiver on tour from your own surfing, what would they be, and what kind of things would you want to develop over the coming seasons?
I mean, definitely my air game is my biggest strength, but I have a lot to work on. It's definitely like my barrel riding and my rail game. I think they're good, but I really have to work on it like a lot. But I know I'm confident that it's sick that I have 6 months right now, and these 6 months are going to be really good because I'm going to work on them. I'm going to work really hard, and I know that I'm going to be a different surfer at the end of this off season. Yeah, I think it's a time for it, and I'm super grateful to have a big off season, and I'm ready to work on my weakness, get them stronger. Yes.
Awesome. We're going to take one quick break to get a word in from our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to wrap up our conversation with Marco Mignot, Jeremy Flores, and Griffin Colapinto. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to the lineup. I'm Dave Prodan. I'm here talking to Marco Mignot, Jeremy Flores, and Griffin Colapinto. They're talking to us live from the Quiksilver Fest in the southwest of France. Guys, as we said, this event's going to be finished by the time this airs, but it does seem like, as you're talking about, in addition to having this insane field of surfers surfing at a very high level and surfing on like different equipment, which I always think is like really engaging, it just seems like a great thing to do. Like there's great food, there's great times, there's culture, there's art. I'll go all three of you. Outside of the water, what's been your favorite part of Quiksilver Fest so far? Griff, I'll start with you.
My favorite part of Quik Fest, outside the water, it's probably just been the camaraderie with everyone. All of us, like, especially within Quiksilver, like seeing the team get together and everyone like gets along so well. And it just feels like the energy with Quiksilver is really good. And there's like, I don't know, like everyone's just on the same vibe and wants like the same thing in life. It's just to like enjoy life and also to work hard. So yeah, it's cool to meet with everyone and see that.
Yeah.
Marco, what about you outside the water?
Outside the water, I mean, I think a bit of everything. I think there's been some really good DJs. The party's been really good, actually. The party's been fun. I think there's been some good parties. We've been having really good food too at the contest. So it's been a really good. I don't know. I feel like everybody has like when we come out of the heats, we're like having a bunch of chats and talking, and it's a good. I don't know. I really like. I enjoy it after the surf, after the heat. We go and talk, and it's pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy, this is, as we said, in large part, it's your baby. But outside the water, what's been the most special thing for you about this year's Quiksilver Fest?
I think the fans, because the local fans, they love surfing here in France. They're passionate, real passionate. I think like it's not new. It's been French passion during events from years to years to years. Like the passion of the kids and even like you see like grandmas and you see like all kind of people showing up to the beach. And the idea of this event too is to do it the old way, old school. So you just like no webcasts, you just show up and watch your favorite surfer on the beach. So we were talking, we're thinking about doing a webcast. We thought about it, but then we're like, you know what? No, let's just do it old school. So whoever wants to come watch their favorite surfers, their heroes, their legends, then show up, get on the beach, and just like the old way, that energy, to like actually come and meet and see your favorite surfer. Like these guys, we did these signings 2 days ago on Wednesday. Like I think it went on for like almost 3 hours, and they had to cut the line. Like it was like never ending lines. Like I don't know how many it'd be interesting to know how many people showed up. But it was crazy the amount of people that wanted just like their signature and meet up the heroes. Like it's that's my favorite part of this event.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember our old head judge, Rich Porta, was a good friend of mine. And, early on when I started, and the webcast would be struggling, like, hey, man, all you need are just waves and tents on the beach. That's all you need to do a contest. But it is cool that, you can still enjoy like a ton of highlights from like social media, like, at Quiksilver, at Quiksilver_festival, Stabs covering it. And, looking ahead, Jeremy, as we said, man, you're a busy man. Like you're a young man, but you're still an elder statesman in the global surfing community. People look up to you. You still rip. You got all these projects going on. I am curious, like when you look at the road ahead, through 2026, the next 2 to 3 years, like what's your focus? Are we going to get you back in a competition singlet, more long-term? What do you want to do? You got a young family. I mean, it does feel like all your hard work and sacrifice over all those years has set you up. You can almost do anything at this point.
Well, you know what? If the CT Championship Tour event comes back to Hossegor, then because I'm the previous winner, I better have a wildcard.
I mean, now that that's in the podcast, I think that's a lock, right? We can't. Yeah, it's in line.
Don't put it in my heat, please. Don't put it in my heat. I don't want to have him in the game.
We have to start a hashtag.
Put Jeremy. I'll have to take care of my health though, because I'm getting a little bit too belly lately, but I can still manage to barrel though. It's the only thing I can manage to do. The rest is like so.
A bit more than that. I've seen big cars.
Just a lot of project with kids, especially with the young generation.
Yeah.
Working on a long-term project with the French Federation and the Tahitian Federation about helping out this young elite, follow them for the next 3 years, until the next Olympic in LA, and then 4 extra years to Brisbane. And so we really will be able to follow a whole generation from like 10 to 16 years old and give them everything they need to actually succeed. Nowadays it's not like the old days where it was like huge contract and big contract and money everywhere and stuff. It's like it's different now, So for young kids nowadays to actually make a living and go do be a professional surfer, it's hard. Except if you have your parents that are millionaire, but like it's really hard, So the project is to help out this young generation to pay for financially, pay for their support with like physio, with a mental coach, flying around like Tahiti. We went 1 month in Tahiti with like some of the best coach. So we have like Michel Bourrez, we have in the Tahitian side we have Tereva David, and then in the French side we have Joan Duru, and then we have Marc Lacomar, and then that's the really cool part about this project is about sharing everything that we've done in our life, and that's it, I mean, that's why we surf, huh? It's about sharing our passion and sharing to the next generation, and that's what we're doing right now. And I think look, in the Olympics, Caroline won the gold medal, Joan Defay got bronze medal. I mean, few years ago, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, no one would have thought, like if you add up the points, if there was like a point event, then France would probably be first, and back then that was like impossible. So that means, we're doing something right, and we will continue to support this young generation. And that's kind of been my passion lately, to help out doing this, because that's kind of, I really enjoy doing that. Obviously, my kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to put my kids into professional surfing. I'll be way too intense. Imagine showing up over there and my kids not getting the right scores.
Well, you know where the judges' tower is, so you're already ahead of the game.
Oh my God! Like Jeremy again, this guy just doesn't let go.
Well, that sounds incredible, man. And they're all super lucky to have both you and all the coaches you name. That's an insane list of surfers. You know, Marco, we're in an extended off season, right? It's a little bit longer than we normally have because the calendar's switching back to starting in Australia in April, finishing at Pipeline in December. What are your off-season plans over the next few months, and how do you prepare for your sophomore, your second year on the CT?
Well, right now, I'm going to be in France for a month and a half. I have like my whole team of preparation here. And with the French team and my Quiksilver and stuff, we're preparing like a big camp. And just getting ready. Just work, like I said, working on my weakness, maybe get physically stronger, mentally more sharp, and sharpen some details in my surfing. And right now, then go back home, Mexico, and maybe go to Hawaii for sure. Just staying active. That's the plan.
Sounds insane. Yeah, Griffin, you're the world runner-up, right? Like, it's been 30 years or about since a Californian finished that high on a California male finished that high on the world tour. But the last few years, it's been world runner-up. You finished third in 2024, third in 2023. You're knocking at the door of a world title. How are you approaching this off season? And is it anything different to prior seasons? Like, do you change things up every year? And second question, because we're switching the format next year to aggregate rankings throughout the entire season, won't be the WSL Finals format. What do you think about that as it pertains to your chances to clinch that first world title?
Well, to answer the first question, I'd say I'm like the most excited I've ever been to get back in the jersey, like as soon as the season's finished. Like in seasons in the past, like I've finished and been like, oh, I'm so psyched for the off season, you know? But now I really feel like excited to compete again. I'm like, oh, I want more contests, you know? So that for me, like when I'm excited, that's like a good sign that for me to be getting better at surfing and, you know, to be motivated to go on surf trips and like keep improving the little things. And so that I'm super stoked I feel that way. And for the format change for next year, I think that is really good. I think it'll benefit the best surfers on the tour because in that first round, we'll probably be getting better waves because sometimes before they would run the first round and the waves would be the best. And then they go in the next round where people lose and the waves would be like really bad. And so we have a way better opportunity to get good waves in that first round. So I think that'll be good. And there's going to be more pressure that comes with that too, I think, not having a warm-up round. So the guys who can handle pressure the best will also thrive in that situation. So, I think it'll be good.
I guess another knock-on benefit to Jeremy's point, now that the calendars move back to April through December, it does set us up at some point if the planets align for us to come back to Hossegor because the CT is going to be over autumn. So fingers crossed that happens. Fingers crossed that we see Jeremy back in a competition somewhat soon yes. On the championship tour. Guys, thank you so much for the time. We did put out some feelers to at the Lineup Pod on Instagram for questions for you. We got a lot back, but we've just picked one for each of you. The first question is for Griffin. It is from Kimber Trippin, who asks, what was your most challenging heat loss of 2025, and what was your most fulfilling win? She doubled up the questions there. Or they did.
Yeah, it's a good question. My most challenging heat loss, I probably had two. Well, one of them was to Marco here in Portugal. I surfed like a super good heat. I put up like almost 14 points, I think, and the waves were really bad too. So that was like a good heat for that day. And then Marco just came and dropped a huge full out on me. He got like an 8-3-3 or something. And that was like the third event of the year. And I was super rattled. And then the next event was in El Salvador, and I had a heat against Matthew McGillivray, and this was the fourth event of the year. And I was kind of like beating him the whole heat. And then the very end, he needed a 7.2 and got like a 7.3 with like a minute to go. And I had just been on a run of losing at that point. And at that moment, I remember just like looking at Tommy and just going like, what is happening right now? Like I actually thought like, oh my God, I could fully fall off tour. So that was like the most devastating, scary little time for me. And then probably like the best heat win of the season, probably, I feel like my heat win against Italo in the final 5 at Cloudbreak. Because it was like the years past, I had lost both my first heats in the final 5. And so when I won that heat, it felt so good because it was like, yes, okay, I made a heat, in this freaking format. So, and then, yeah, I got to beat Jordy too, which felt really good. And it was cloud breaks and the waves were really good. So yeah, that's probably it.
Great question. Great answers. Marco, this question is from @Sallyfoot_Ramirez, who asks, we know you grew up in Sayulita, Mexico. What do you think of the next generations coming up from next generation of surfers coming out of Sayulita?
I think there's a few really good surfers. I think definitely with Alan and me, inspiring the newer generation. They're like, I think they're like, oh, we can do this. It's like it's on. And I'm seeing a bunch of kids super motivated. And I think we might see one or two soon in the top, hopefully.
Last one's for Jeremy. We actually got a celebrity question. This is from @Vahine Fierro, who asks, who won the final 5 in Huntington, the Queen of Chopu or J-Flow?
Oh my God, no comment. We had a heat, then HB 1.5 foot. And she got me good. And I was furious. Because we did 3 hits at Bad Pass in Tahiti. And I think what happened? She won. And then we went at Chopu. And we did 3 hits at Chopu and I won those hits. So that's where we went to the final 5. I was like, okay, where do you want to happen? HB, all right, HB. I was like, oh, this is a tough one. Me at HB, 1.5 foot. I gave it all. Like, tried like club sandwich, like hurt my back. And the scores were kind of like little sus, but she got I was a little bit slow and lazy, maybe. I'll get back to it.
I love it. Well, thanks to everyone that wrote in at the lineup pod. We're now down to our final segment. This is the lightning round. So we got 10 questions for you guys to answer as quickly as you can. For simplicity's sake, I'll ask the question and then we'll just do Marco, Griffin, Jeremy, answer on each of them. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, Marco, starting off. If you could only have one board setup for the rest of your life, single fin, twin fin, thruster, quad bonzer, or finless, which would you choose?
Thruster. I'd use
Griffin.
thruster.
Oh, 2 + 1, round nose fish.
Jeremy.
Thruster.
All right, Marco, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Griff.
Coffee.
Jeremy. I think you lose your French citizenship if you don't say coffee on that one.
Coffee and cigarette.
Marco.
Yeah.
Marco, burrito or pizza?
Pizza.
Griffin.
Pizza.
Jeremy. Man. 3 amigos. Okay, Marco, what is the last book you read?
The last book I read, Did I ever read? Do I read? No.
I've never read the book. What, something about Buddha or spiritual?
Yeah, spiritual
stuff, for sure.
It's about stoicism. It was, I don't remember the name of the book, but it was about like philosophy of stoic, like
Stoicism. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Griff.
Many Lives, Many Masters. It's like a book on reincarnation.
Quick on the draw there, Griff. What about you, Jeremy? Last book you read?
It was Andre Agassi's Biting.
Open?
Open? Yeah.
Yeah, I read that one too.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I mean, it's not new, but I just read it not that long ago. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Marco, what is the best surf film ever?
I think Dear Suburbia.
Okay. Griff?
Probably say Young Guns too.
All right. Le Patron, Jeremy, what's the best surf film ever?
What was that one? Scratch, the movie, the Quiksilver movie. Scratch.
The Julian movie?
No, this one, the Quiksilver. Washed.
Oh, Scratched.
Washed. That was really good because I see. I'm a fan of these guys. So I only watch these guys. Okay, I don't watch anyone else.
Well answered. Marco, what is one wave?
I only watch the Quiksilver guys. That's it.
You watched the movie?
Oh, you know what? They didn't even put a wave of me in the movie.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's because I was actually really, really bad lately. I couldn't put a wave together. Damn, and I was like, yeah, I want a couple wave in the movie. I never got a wave in the movie. That's why. But I enjoy watching my I enjoy watching my waves.
You're gonna have to make a few calls to
It's okay. You know what? Fair enough. I don't deserve it.
I heard Daz was holding them all for the documentary. He wouldn't let Washed have it, so it was just a little media rights dispute. All right, Marco, what is one wave you never have to go back to?
Wow. They never have to go back to? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. It's a hard question to
Joker.
On Dai.
If you don't have one, that's
On
okay.
Dai.
Like people say, like
it's a beach in France on Dai.
Okay. All right, good answer.
Sorry to the
Griffin.
I know this is the next Challenger event, but Rebirth de Ellis, that wave is absolutely shocking.
Good luck, boys.
It's like, I don't even know. It's so
Good luck, guys.
And Jeremy?
Me? Bells Beach. Bells Beach. I've had this tough relationship with Bells my whole life. Ever since the first time I went there, I was like 13 or 14 years old. I surfed in this little search event, and I just there's just something about Bells that just never could get along with this place. And I love Australia. I love Australians. I'm probably my favorite spot in the world. But Bells, no. Sorry.
All right, Marco, if you can only surf one wave for the rest of your life and you can dreamcast it, perfect conditions, just you and your friends, which wave would it be?
Maybe. What does it have to be like? It has to be a name that everybody knows, or like?
No, whatever you like. Yeah.
I think maybe.
You don't have to burn a spot, but
yeah. I don't know. I would say. I think. Yeah, Hossegor is fun when it's on fire. Like it's so fun. Like you can surf like lefts and perfect rights and right big barrels, and I think Hossegor.
What is best favorite
Griff?
wave?
Oh, my best.
Is that what it was?
No,
Yeah, like one wave for the rest of your life. And yeah, which one would you want to surf? Just you and your friends, perfect conditions, whatever.
Probably cloud break.
All right. Jeremy?
Somewhere with step offs. You know, I'm thinking about the future. And in the future, you know, like sharing friends, sharing barrels, stepping off in wave like Hossegor and stuff. Like, this is priceless. Actually, like sharing, you know, you get in the barrel and then the skis right there and claiming and stuff. It's the best feeling ever, stepping off. Wait, you know, it's unlucky we didn't get wave this week. Otherwise, we would have done a full step off event.
No way.
Yeah. Shit.
Wow, that would have been next level.
I don't know if it would have been allowed, but we would have made it happen.
Yeah.
No, like especially for guys like me, you know, need the ski.
No more paddling.
Marco, who is the best person to share a lineup with?
The best, I think my big brother, Nome. Yeah.
Griff?
Probably my dad. He's like the biggest hype man you've ever met.
Jeremy?
Uncle Mike, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Mike Kelleholt, as like being on tour with him, it's just like priceless. I was lucky to spend a lot of time with him, and no matter how bad your day is or whatever, he's always frothing more than anyone. You know, it's the kind of guy you want to cruise with. So Uncle Mike, 100%.
Great answers. Marco, who's the worst person to share a lineup with?
Whoa. Griffin. No, joking. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Depends what the setting is. Is it before a contest or is it free surfing?
I mean, a special, like...
It can
before,
be, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oof, that's a... Joao Shenka, maybe? No, but hey, he's a good friend. I love it. I love it. Nah, I'm joking.
That's fine.
That was
great.
nice.
He would say the same about himself. 100%.
Yeah, he's pretty bad, I think. But he's cool with me. I've seen him do a few.
Let's cut that out for the next heat, their next matchup.
Yeah.
We'll put that out there.
That's right. Griff, who you got? You got someone you don't like sharing a lineup with?
I mean, maybe not for me, but if you go surf lowers and Wardos out there, it's probably kind of a nightmare for you. So, yeah, that's my answer.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you got someone?
I have no idea. I'm peace and love. I love everyone. I got
That's
too
true.
much love.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, that should have been your answer. I got burned. I had the worst question, bro.
Well, you know, as Griff said, we'll get to cut it out for the broadcast next year. It'll be high stakes, round one. Yeah.
But someone like Italo is pretty gnarly on tour. Italo is intense. Like, he's a really good person, but like his intensity in the in the water on the free surf. Intense. Sure. Yeah.
That's always the line for like people like myself or your friends. Like, you must get great waves. I'm like, are you nuts? I've got like 50 apex predators. I don't go anywhere near that lineup. That's a nightmare.
Seriously.
All right, last one, boys. Last one. Marco, finish this sentence. I will next achieve a state of happiness by
just living in the moment.
Oh.
Great answer, Griff.
I will next. It's just. I will next achieve a state of happiness by winning every contest ever. No, I'm just kidding. I will next achieve a state of happiness by being myself. That's it.
Good answer. Jeremy, boss?
Just family. Just by spending time with my family as much as I can. Easy.
Well, guys, thank you so much for the time today. Like, congratulations on everything happening in the southwest of France at Quiksilver Festival. I look forward to catching up with all three of you down the track and talking some more. But yeah, boys, inspiring seasons from all three of you. And yeah, I look forward to speaking next time.
Yeah, Dave, thanks.
Thank you, Dave.
See you, Dave.
See you soon.